if they can, they are going to set themselves up so far ahead of the other teams and get that point lead.
Much like the bees on Rich's tie, basically ABC's biggest threat is a bee sting against Method Black.
So they're playing the Destruction Warlock again. Alec, current world record holder in dampening, 85% here. Gonna be and he did it on this composition. We'll see if he can break that today.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. Method Black, they're going to be opting to go with the Mana Rift strategy once again. Demon Hunter Death Knight, very durable composition, relies heavily on Raikou consistently finding these Mana Rifts. As you can see, that little purple circle on the ground. When that expires, Askerath is going to lose 8% of his mana and 8% of his health. This is what we've seen from both Method Black and Method Orange consistently in these tournaments this season so far, and it's a really difficult strategy to deal with because you can try to counter pressure, you can try to win in the early game, but with how durable both Death Knights and Demon Hunters are, that is much easier said than done.
Multiple Maledicts incoming towards Raikou as he's forced to duck around the corner. That was a nice move on Alec's part, a bit of a close call, but ultimately nothing to take advantage of moving forward. However, later in the game, when dampening has ramped up, if they can set up a cool play like that, they definitely are going to be taking down Raikou, and Method Black are realizing this and just respecting the damage, avoiding some of it for now. Now actually looking to get aggressive when I-Beam is available, as I-Beam activates Raikou's Metamorphosis. Whenever he grows wings like this and becomes a gigantic demon, his damaging spell abilities start to heal him as well. Now without that activated, his healing is much lower, so this is where you would want to look to burst a Demon Hunter. Chaos Bolt, a good option to do that, however being disrupted by Swapsy. Askerath locked down in crowd control, as well as Swapsy. ABC looking for some pressure off the back of this, but Alec is just unable to get a Chaos Bolt off during that crowd control, and crowd control without Chaos is not going to do too much.
Bash on Chaz, and I feel like out of all the Druids in this tournament so far, Askerath has been doing the best job really managing his mana for a long time. You can see that he is a little bit behind Chaz, but that's because he's been having to deal with the mana rifts. But with the way he's been holding on to his mana, healing very efficiently, getting off well-timed innervates, and sneaking away for drinks when he can, I have been very impressed with him on Druid so far in this tournament.
All right, let's see if he can keep it up here. It's a lower bracket, best of 5. The loser of this series goes home in 3rd place. Method Black are the current top point earners. So if you're Wildcard Gaming, you're kind of praying for Method Black to have a good run so that nobody else can pass you up. Obviously, the Pumpers with no points, it's unlikely even if they place in first, but they really want to try and get it if they can to qualify for the Spring Finals LAN or accrue points to potentially secure a spot at BlizzCon as we tally up all the points together to qualify a team from the region. There has been good pressure back and forth from both of these teams in Game 1. However, Askerath is now significantly behind on mana, and I think mana is going to be the name of the game here when facing a Demon Hunter.
Yeah, Method Black is looking to win 3 cups in a row, and I don't think that's ever happened before in the history of these tournaments, of these cups. So if they can manage to pull it off right here and win this lower bracket game, they will be moving forward to the grand finals to play against the Pumpers and try to get that 3 tournament win streak in a row, which would be a record for them. Askerath, low on mana, having a difficult time. Raikou's been doing a good job consistently landing these burns. We need to see Alec try to get offensive. The last time he used his Infernals and his Dark Soul, they were able to get Raikou quite low. They need to try to catch him off guard with the Mortal Coil, potentially a bash from Askerath in order to take him down, but I think as long as Method Black plays it safe, they rotate properly, they respect the offensive cooldowns from ABC, it's looking like a winning matchup.
Yeah, and another Azerite trait that Raikou is running here, we've been talking a lot about the Leech, but Burning Soul, so every time Consume Magic is casted, which is effectively the same mechanic as a Purge for a Shaman, it removes a beneficial magic effect. This will also give the Demon Hunter an enormous shield effect, absorbing big damage. So you pair that shield with the Soul Leech healing and some Restoration Druid heal over time effects, and you've got yourself a pretty difficult target to take down. So Raikou is running 3 of those Burning Souls, really focusing on survivability so that he can extend the match, obviously utilizing the Honor Talent Mana Rift to burn Askerath out and tap them out in game number 1. ABC have gone with the Warlock Shaman Restoration Druid, the Wizard Cleave composition, to try and deal with this threat, as maybe it's their only option available. Everything else that they've tried has just not worked. We saw some really good pressure earlier on down from Alec with his Infernal setup on Raikou, but so far since then, not too much has happened for the side of ABC. Slowly and surely, Method Black build their lead.
Yeah, definitely Asgrath once again trying to sneak away, but Swapsy sends his ghoul, his pet, over. Asgrath potentially looking for a Shadow Meld, manages to find it, but he just doesn't have the time to sit down and actually secure that mana that he needs. Alec already getting bursted down to around 50% health at 2% dampening. Asgrath almost completely out of mana, and as long as Method Black don't completely drop the ball and Raikou chases Asgrath down, I don't see the win condition here for ABC. They need some sort of one-shot kill, but Alex already used his main offensive cooldowns. It really didn't even dent Method Black, and things are just looking really good. I feel like ABC, they tried out a composition for game number 1 against this Cleave setup, but it is not working out so far.
Important combination of Azerite traits as a Destruction Warlock is that of Crashing Chaos and Flashpoint. Crashing Chaos increasing the damage of your Chaos Bolts during Infernals. Chaos Bolt already really important, but just adding a little bit of extra punch in terms of damage there. And then of course Flashpoint gives you a significant amount of haste when your Immolate deals damage to a target above 80% health. So by getting haste, you increase the speed of your Chaos Bolt. Then during Infernals, the Chaos Bolt does even more damage. It's really fast, and it's a smart combination of Azerites to take as a Destruction Warlock.
Yep, and now we see with Asgrath no mana left, this is where Method Black is going to be looking to get really aggressive on Alec potentially, as long as they can slow down the drinks. Asgrath, I don't think he has enough time to actually stabilize his team. Alec forced to trade out the Unending Resolve to buy Asgrath just a little bit of time to drink, but Chaz, Raikou, they're able to shut it down. Now Alec, with no Unending Resolve, is going to be a very vulnerable target, but he has the Dark Soul, and Infernal's coming up in around 10 seconds. There is a small opportunity for ABC here, but Method Black, they just have so many answers. Raikou has every defensive. He has the Darkness. Swapsy, every defensive. He has the Anti-Magic Zone if he really needs to. And of course, Chaz has the Iron Bark. Chaz mana not doing super great, but I feel like with the self-healing Method Black has, Chaz is going to be able to hold on to that mana for much longer than ABC really has time.
Infernals have hit the battlefield. This is where Crashing Chaos comes in for Alec, as well as Grimoire of Supremacy, so every Soul Shard he's able to spend increases the damage of his next Chaos Bolt, so he's looking to ramp. So far, his ramp has basically been shut down. He hasn't really been able to boost the damage, but he's still going to go for it, looking to bait some interrupts with that Fear. Gets one Chaos Bolt, gets stunned on the second, and that was a smart decision by Swapsy. If you can not stop 2 in a row, you want to save your interrupt, stop the second one, because one Chaos Bolt's not going to kill you. 2 in a row, that's going to kill you. So right there, Swapsy held his stop for the second one rather than using it on the first one, and now that Dark Soul is all but faded away. A Destruction Warlock, while quite durable and difficult to kill at the top level, can be danced around quite easily, especially when you bring in multiple melee interrupts that the team Method Black have brought in. I would have maybe liked to see Nether Ward from Alex, so he can use Nether Ward to immune himself to both Disrupt and Mind Freeze from a Death Knight and a Demon Hunter, but he's not running it. He's still falling behind. Asgrath is totally tapped out on mana. Method Black have all of the momentum, completely in control of game number 1 as they close it out here. Method Black, utter domination.
And this is kind of what you did predict, Sid, and there are a lot of reasons to make that prediction. I think that is for sure, but actually seeing Alec come in on the Warlock,